You know all that expensive stuff you've got plugged in? Your big screen TV, your computer, maybe a brand new gaming console? Well, what if I told you a single violent jolt of electricity could fry all of it in less than a second? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the unsung hero that stands guard against that exact disaster.
Okay, to really get a grip on this, we're going to use a super simple analogy. Let's just forget about all the technical stuff, volts and amps, for a minute. Instead, I want you to just picture the electricity that's powering your home right now, as if it's just water flowing through a set of pipes. When everything's going right, it's just this nice, steady, predictable flow. The pressure is perfect, your lights are on, your phone's charging, everything's calm. That's exactly how your home's electrical system is supposed to work.
But what happens when that calm, steady flow gets, violently interrupted? That's when things get dangerous. That's when the pressure in those pipes suddenly, and I mean suddenly, goes through the roof.
And that spike, that's what we call a power surge. And listen, this is not some gentle little rise in pressure. No, this is a massive, instantaneous wave of energy just screaming down the line. Way, way more than your gadgets are ever meant to handle. So where do these things even come from? Well, the one everyone thinks of, the really dramatic one, is a lightning strike somewhere nearby. That can pump millions of volts into the grid. Crazy, right? But honestly, they can also be caused by something as simple as a big appliance in your own house kicking on, or even problems down at the power plant sending a shockwave right through the system.
And I love this quote because it just perfectly nails what happens next. When that gigantic wave of electrical pressure slams into your delicate electronics, your computer, your TV, your smart fridge, it is literally like trying to fill a tiny, fragile teacup with a fire hose on full blast. What do you think happens? Yep, those tiny little components are just instantly overwhelmed and fried.
So the big question is, how in the world do you protect that little teacup from a fire hose? Well, like any good story, this one has a hero. And in our electrical system, that hero is basically a safety valve built for this exact kind of emergency. It's called a surge arrestor. You might know the general idea as a surge protector. And really, the absolute best way to picture what it does is to think about that little safety valve on a pressure cooker. You know the one? It's just a simple little thing that sits there, doing nothing, until that one moment you desperately need it. And check this out. This comparison just makes it all click. The crazy high steam pressure, that's our power surge. The delicate food cooking inside, well, that's your sensitive electronics. And just like that safety valve gives the dangerous steam an escape route, the surge arrestor gives that dangerous electricity a path to get away from all your gear. It's the exact same principle. Okay, so how does our little hero actually do it? How does it save the day? It all comes down to two things: incredible speed and providing a quick escape route. And this whole drama, it plays out in a tiny fraction of a second, completely hidden from our sight. So here's the play-by-play. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, the arrestor is just chilling, doing absolutely nothing. Power flows right on by. But the instant, and I mean we're talking nanoseconds, that a surge hits, it senses that dangerous spike in pressure. Bam! It immediately throws open a new path, a detour, and shoves that entire destructive wave safely away from your house. And then, just as fast, it slams shut again, ready to do it all over if it has to. You might be wondering, where does all that dangerous electricity go? Well, it gets sent straight into the ground. Seriously. The best way to think of the Earth is as this giant, massive electrical sponge. It can soak up almost any amount of energy you throw at it, which makes it the perfect, safe place to dump a nasty power surge. So when you put all these pieces together, you start to see that this thing isn't just another gadget. It's like a full-time silent bodyguard for your entire home's electrical system. It just sits there, day in and day out, totally ignoring the normal flow of electricity. But the second danger shows up, it opens the door and gives that surge a super easy path away from all your valuable stuff. In a way, it's pretty heroic. It takes the full force of the hit so that your smart TV, your computer, everything else doesn't have to. It's a really incredible little piece of protective engineering that, let's be honest, most of us never even think about. That is, until it's too late. And that kind of leaves us with one last, pretty important question, right? Is your home's hero on duty?